Hello, my name is Michelle Mart-Shannon of Shannon Etiquette Training. I'm also the founder of Melanated Homeschooling Family Support Group, and I'm the founder of Los Angeles Homeschooling Family Social and Support Group. In these groups, we help homeschooling families with their homeschooling journey. And we have also helped many families decide if homeschooling was for them or even how to get started homeschooling. We're here to support you. We're a group that helps. Tina Ramsey, the co-founder of Melanated Homeschooling Families, and we both have been homeschooling our children for several years now. We've been homeschooling for a while now. So we're in the group to assist other families with questions that they may have about homeschooling. Also, the families in the group are also really great resources for information. Some of our families have been homeschooling for a very long time, and now they're homeschooling their grandchildren. I'm homeschooling my 16-year-old daughter. I want to share with you how it all started for me. What made me decide to homeschool her? Well, I'm going to tell you, it was the schools. The schools is what pretty much made me decide to homeschool my daughter. We pretty much had her in private school throughout the years. Once we found out that the private schools were the more organized schools, and they, kind of had the children that were more well behaved than the public schools. I had a teacher tell me at back to school night that she had 40 kids in the class, 40 kids to this one teacher. And she didn't have time to focus on one kid, meaning my child couldn't get help if she needed help. If I asked her what was my child doing in class, she couldn't tell me what my child was doing in class. So that was number one. I had another teacher tell me my daughter was behind in math. She was a little behind the rest of the class, and she didn't have time to wait on her to catch up. So that was another. And this was in a private school. I think we were paying over $400 a month for her to go to the school, to be told that my daughter couldn't get help if she needed some help. So I immediately pulled her out of that school. She went to another school and still paying tuition. The teacher quit, and the principal decided she was going to put the children in classes together. So they were already combined classes. However, when this teacher quit, her combined class went with another combined class. So I noticed something was going on when I saw my daughter's homework had changed. When I noticed her homework had switched up, I said, okay, something must be going on. I'm going to have to talk to your teacher. She said, my teacher's not there. And I'm like, okay, well, where's your teacher? I don't know. She's been gone for a while. And she says, I think she quit. I said, what would make you say that your teacher quit? She says, I don't know. That's what the kids are saying. So I said, okay, well, I need to talk to the principal and find out. So I talked to the principal and I asked her, and she says, yes, the teacher did quit. My thing was, why weren't we notified as parents? I said, I knew something was different when I saw her homework, that her homework had switched up. So I told her, I said, well, I don't think this new class is a good fit for my daughter. And she said she didn't think it would be. So I said, okay, I'm wondering, if you didn't think it would be, why did you put her in this class with all of these other kids? Or why didn't you notify me and let me know? So that was my last straw. I was like, okay, if you want something done, if you don't want it done right, you have to do it yourself. So that's when I pulled her out again. I had previously pulled her out before to homeschool, but I only did it for a few months. This time I was like, okay, she's not going back to school. This time is for real. So I had so many questions about homeschooling. I did my research, but I still had questions. I tried it anyway, and I learned along the way. I met other homeschooling parents. We went on field trips together. The children played together. I was able to talk to them, find out why they were homeschooling, and what are some of the things that they do, what some of the curriculum that they use. I was able to talk to other homeschooling parents. So over the months and talking to the parents and different teachers, I got more of a feel of it, got the hang of it. And I decided you know what, I think I want to start a Facebook group because I know there has to be other parents out there like me that has questions too, have questions too. And they, want to find out some information before they decide to do this. They want to find out if homeschooling is right for them, if they have questions about how am I going to do this? What do I teach? So I started these homeschooling groups and the parents came. I mean, the parents are still joining by the hundreds, okay? So it's actually turned out to be a good thing. We're helping other families. And I think a support group is important because usually the minute you start telling your friends, your family, and everyone else that you've made the decision to homeschool your child, well, you kind of get the negative feedback and you get some hurtful comments, okay? And I'm not saying not everyone, but usually when you talk to a homeschooling parent, someone has said something to them that made them feel pretty bad. They said something to them, that kind of told them that this is something that they should not do, okay? So it happens. It happens to all of us. So usually people are so used to the same thing, doing the same thing, to the idea that children should leave every day, put their backpack on and go to school. They should go to the same kind of school. They should go every day until they graduate. These are usually the people that have been on the same job forever. They don't try to have change in their life. They don't usually step out of their comfort zone. It's okay for you to step out of your comfort zone and homeschool your child. It's okay for you to step out of your comfort zone and even think about homeschooling your child. We as parents, well, we know our children better than anyone else. So the best thing about homeschooling is we can meet our children where they are. We can teach them what we want them to know. We know if they have trouble with spelling. We know if they have trouble with reading. We can meet them where they are. If they have trouble with math, we can find out where they have trouble at, what they need help with. If we can't do it ourselves, there are people out there that will help them. There are people out there that will give them assessments. We can find the help for them. But we know our children and we're with our children every day. So we know what they need help with. We just need to find out if we will be the ones to help them or if we need to get help for them. Sometimes you have to get help for your child and it's nothing wrong with it. There are so many ways to homeschool. I started out homeschooling my daughter when I first started teaching my daughter. It was great. She was ready to learn from mom, but I made the decision to put her back in school. When I took her out again, I enrolled her in a charter school. She was enrolled in an online charter school. And I found out that the online charter school worked for us. That was the way to go for us. My daughter has an amazing teacher. She's had this same teacher for several years now. The teacher and I have an amazing relationship. I can call her or text her, email her. We get on Zoom together and I can ask her whatever it is I want to ask her. But she wants the best for my daughter. She's the kind of teacher that believes that a child can do anything. Okay, so homeschooling has a lot to offer. And if I don't know what, they do have to offer to us or to my daughter, her teacher will let me know. She receives all of this information and she doesn't mind sharing it. So my daughter is in the process of becoming a certified makeup artist. When your child is being homeschooled, they have so many opportunities available to them. There's so many things that they can do. You can go to a trade school and you can receive your certificate and your diploma while you're homeschooling. You can also go to college. You can take college classes. You can get a head start on your college classes, or you can even graduate with a degree. There's so many things that you can do while you're homeschooling. So now I have said so much about homeschooling, what you can do when you're homeschooling, how great it is to homeschool your child, but let's be real about it. There's something we haven't discussed, and that's the fact that sometimes, well, you have to leave your job in order to stay home with your children. You may be working, but when you're working, you're trying to juggle it all. You're trying to juggle homeschooling, taking care of the kids, taking care of your home, taking care of your spouse if you have one. You are trying to juggle it all. Okay. You're trying to figure out how you're going to do this. You're trying to figure out what's right for you. How can you do it to where it'll work for you and your family? So in the Melanated group, we have something called Business Fridays. On Business Fridays, members can post their businesses, they can post their blogs, they can post their events, they can post their classes, whatever it is that they have going on, they can post it on Business Fridays. Business Fridays is a great day because I like to point out the fact that, well, some of us parents have had to become creative, start our own business just so that we can create an income for ourselves. It's kind of like creating your own job so that you can create your own income, so that you can be at home with your child, homeschooling your children. So during these Business Fridays, some of the members post so many different businesses, and some of the other parents, well, they may feel like, I'm not doing anything, but I'd like to do something, but I just don't know what to do. You can look at some of the posts and you can say, hey, how did you get into that? Or, hey, how can I do that too? We've had that happen. We've had that happen where so many parents were able to receive information on jobs that they can do from home. They received information on things that would work for them as well. So I thought that was really great. So Business Fridays help. You can also, like I said, see what other people are doing. If they have a blog, you can find out how you can blog too. They have a podcast. You can find out from them how you can create your own podcast. So it's actually great because you can get recognition for your business or your book or your event, whatever you're doing, but you can also give information. You can also help another parent who may need some information on what they can do too. I have business mentors and other business women that I follow, and I've learned a lot from them, like LaShonda Henry, Natalie Goucher, Rochelle Shaw. These are just to name a few of some of my business mentors. I was on lots of webinars, lots of Facebook Lives, taking notes, just constantly taking notes, reading posts, taking notes, just taking notes. I did this for a long time because I wanted to start my business and I wanted a successful business and I wanted to become a household name. I wanted everyone to know who I was. So I did all of this because remember, after all, I had to start my business so I can get an income, right? I had to start a business so that I could have my own income and be able to take care of my children. My husband goes to work every day. However, I also wanted to have an income coming in as well. So I did all of this, and it helped me to start marketing my own business because I received so much information from these women and many other women that I started marketing my own business and I was good at it. I was so good to where other women would ask me, who markets your business? Who does your marketing? Who's managing your Facebook page? And I would tell them, me, I'm doing it. And I'm like, why? Wonder why they're asking me. Well, they said, I like what you're doing. I want to know if you can do it for me too. How much would you charge? And I said, oh, I never thought about it because I only do my own stuff. So then I had to think about it because I had so many people coming to me, asking me to create flyers, asking me to manage their Facebook pages. So I had so many people coming to me asking me for help. So I went ahead and I started doing these things for other business women and they paid me. So that was another stream of income. On top of what I was already doing, this was another stream of income. Okay, so when you see that there's a need for something, the best thing that you can do is see how you can fill that need. Think about what you're good at and let that guide you. Also, do something that makes you happy. I really enjoy what I do, and I'm making money doing it. I spent so much time trying to set up everything for my business and learn everything that I needed to know about getting the word out about my business, that I became good at what I did. Remember, I was trying to become a household name. I wanted to be very successful. I created my own website when I first started out. And as I learned more, I kept updating my website. I kept updating my website. It looked better and better and better. People started asking me, who did your website? I started getting paid to create websites too, because everyone wanted to know who did my website. So I started telling them, me, why are you asking? Oh, I need a website. That's why. So I would create that person's website and someone else would ask them, who created your website? And they would tell them, oh, I have this woman that creates websites. She can create a website for you too. So I started creating websites. That was another stream of income, creating websites. Remember, I wanted to create multiple streams of income. So I started selling clothes on eBay too. I also started selling jewelry because I love jewelry so much. So I started selling jewelry too. I also started writing books. I've helped so many people write a book. I can honestly say that I could have become a book consultant and got paid for it, but I didn't. I believe that when you do good and you help other people, you do receive your blessings. With me, it's not always about getting paid and trying to get money for everything that I do. Now, it would be different if this were something that I offered as a, within my business. If this was something, a service that I offer to other people, then I would expect to get paid. But I feel like there's nothing wrong with helping other people. And if they have questions, giving them answers. So I wrote a book and the book did very well. No one knew who I was, but I had a line. I had so many people that people were getting out of line because they didn't want to wait on me. Okay, so I had a long line of people. I was signing books, I spoke, and I wrote another book. So I actually wrote a few books. I wrote 2 cookbooks and a few etiquette books. Becoming an author is another great way of making money. I make money in my sleep. I often wake up in the morning and I check my phone and I have a notification saying that I sold a book, that I got paid. So writing a book is actually a great thing. What do you have that you can write your book about? Also, when you write a book, it helps you establish yourself as a professional. Okay, so writing a book is actually a great thing. And you don't actually always have to write a book. It could be a workbook, or it could be a journal. It could be something, like a planner that you write as well. Okay, it could be something that can help people with their health and wellness as well. Some of you are working parents, and I get it. I work full time too. Now I do. I work full time too. So working full time and homeschooling is what you make it. I'm just going to put it that way. It's what you make of it. You have to find your way. I work from home, so it works for me. I create schedules for my daughter. I create a schedule like, okay, get dressed at this time, and you have your writing class at that time, and you have your reading class at this time, and and so on. So she pretty much knows what she has. She stays on top of everything, but it helps me because I'm just constantly working. So it helps me stay on task and know exactly what she has at what time and what she's supposed to be doing, because my daughter has a very busy schedule. And that's how I like it, because I want her, while I'm working, to be working too. I want her to have something to do too. So she has her work and she has her classes that she goes to as well. I also have other stuff for her to do, like she reads books online, and she has some apps that she goes on every day as well to help her with her learning as well. So I'm constantly trying to keep her mind going, constantly trying to keep her mind going. Okay. So with all of that being said, I have a schedule for her, but I also have time where I sit down and work with her. And we also have time where her tutor works for her. She has a private tutor, and that's what I have for her because that's what works for me. So she has a tutor that works with her a couple of times a week. She'll work with her as much as I'd like her to. So if I wanted her to work with her several times a week, she'll work with her several times a week. So while I'm working, this is what she's doing. She's receiving help from someone with her homework or with whatever it is that she needs help with. So her tutor works with her online. Prior to the pandemic, it was in person, one-on-one, but now she works with her online, one-on-one online. I also signed my daughter up for classes on a platform called OutSchool, outschool.com. If I want her to be a part of a classroom and to be in a classroom with other children and interact with other children, I'll sign her up for classes on OutSchool. Sometimes I sign her up because, well, I want her to learn different ways and with different people, other than just me or her tutor, because I don't want her to get bored with working with me and her tutor. So I will add some other classes during the week for her to take where she's interacting with other children. She's interacting with another teacher, with someone else. And it works for us. She goes on OutSchool and she actually looks for classes that she'd like to take. They have so many classes there. You can also find tutors on OutSchool too. OutSchool is a platform with hundreds and hundreds of teachers. They teach so many things, from voice lessons to algebra to having weekly social groups, so the kids can come together to socialize. I know with homeschooling, when children are homeschooled, that's something that a lot of parents worry about. They worry about their children being able to socialize with other kids. Well, I teach classes on OutSchool too. I teach classes under Shannon. If you ever go on OutSchool, you can search my name, or you can search for etiquette classes. I teach etiquette classes. Etiquette is so important because it teaches our children what they need to know and what society expects from them as they're getting older. People will automatically think your child has good manners and knows exactly what they're supposed to do when they start getting older. So it's great for them to take an etiquette class and find out what these rules are. Like, what kind of rules do we have to follow when we start getting older? What are these rules that we need to follow? So, like I said, in the society that we live in, they expect our children to know these rules. I also teach social skills. I teach manners classes. I teach children how to start a conversation with others and how to keep that conversation going, what they should and should not say to other people. I teach all kinds of manners classes. I teach restaurant manners and along with table manners. I teach a lot of different manners classes because this is something very important that the children need to know. This is something that is not always taught in school. And in some of the schools, it has been taken out of the schools. I know like social skills classes have been taken out of the schools. So this is something that I do teach. And this is something that a lot of the parents really, really enjoy. They really like the fact that their children are learning all of this because you can still have a nice and kind child. You can have a nice and polite kid, but they could still be offensive to others if they don't have proper manners, if they don't know what to say or when to say it, or if they're not, you know, doing something that they should do or behaving a certain way. You can still have a child that can offend other people or annoy other people. So manners is a great thing, and it's something that all of our children need. I also have a website. My website is mshannon.org. You can also follow me on Facebook under Shannon Etiquette Consulting. And I have a couple of my books here with me, so I can let you see what my books are. My books are available on Amazon. This is 31 Everyday Good Manners and Habits for Teens. And there are 31 manners in here where you can kind of go over a manner a day just to get an understanding of what you need to know, like I said, as you're getting older. And I also have this cookbook here. This is my latest cookbook, introducing a young lady to cooking for the holidays too, leaving the family legacy. Okay, keeping the family legacy alive, keeping the family legacy alive. That's what we want to do. Keeping our family legacy alive because there are so many people that pass away and they take their recipes with them. My thing is, get your family's recipes, get your grandmother's recipes, get your mother's recipes, get your aunties and uncles, get everyone's recipes. Put them in your cookbook, put them in a book. And I have pages in this book, empty pages for recipes. You want to get those recipes because even if the person has passed on, the taste and the flavor of their foods, you can still have their foods. Their foods can still be alive. Their foods can live on through your family for generations to come. So it's actually something that I wanted to share with others. It's something I wanted to bring attention to. It's something I want to make more people aware of, something that we do need to start doing. We do need to start getting their recipes. In this book, I have holiday recipes, but I also have information, you know, that will teach young ladies information that, you know, helps teach them that they should get these recipes, find some new recipes and add some new recipes to your book too. Also, add some information about some of your loved ones so that you can still have those memories of them, even though they've passed on. You can pass the book on to your child, and your child can have those memories through you, through what you wrote in your book or the pictures that you placed in your book. So I think these things are very important. I'm very, very family-oriented person. I'm all for family. I love family. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to write this book. And it's one of the reasons why I thought it was a great idea to start a homeschooling group for families, a support group for families. If you don't get your support from your family and your friends, you can always join our homeschooling groups and you can get your support there. Thank you. It's been very nice speaking with you. And I hope you take a look at my website, visit my website and find out a little more about what I do and what I have to offer. Thank you.